Could we be on the verge of seeing history repeat itself once again in the form of a 426 Hemi Cuda? By far and away my most favorite Mopar in all of history. Because what if I told you that the stars are starting to align, and I'm going to present you with 5 clues in this video to point to a new updated Hemi Cuda, from an updated 426 Hellephant engine to concept vehicles and even trademarks that could point to a revival of one of Mopar's most iconic vehicles, and like I told you guys, my most favorite Mopar in history. I'm going to tell you about all the clues basically right now. Okay, I'm over 53,000 friends, and the 56% of you guys who are watching these videos but have not subscribed, I'm trying to tell you guys you got to join me and my friends as we come down this rabbit hole. And the only way you can come back into reality after the end of this video is by liking this video, hitting the subscribe button, and finding that hype button if you're on a mobile device to help this video out. So make sure you guys help a butter out, help me get to 100,000 subscribers and stuff. And when you're coming back up this rabbit hole, consider grabbing some merch out of my merch store and saving a ton of money on parts and accessories from my friends at Just Bolt-Ons and DragRacingWheels.com. So let's get right into this video, because there are a ton, and I mean a ton of clues that makes the point that a Cuda is going to make a return, hopefully in the near future. I've made several videos pointing to all these clues and Easter eggs that Dodge themselves have put out over this past year. But let's start with the first clue, because Dodge couldn't make a Cuda without a trademark, right? I mean, how can you make a car and call it something if you don't have the rights to actually name that car that way? Well, there are actually 2 live trademarks right now, one pending for concept vehicles, which is why I think this Charger concept cannot be called a Cuda, which obviously it is. And that trademark is still pending. But the other trademark that's actually live allows Dodge to make a Cuda appearance package. So you can think of them putting the Cuda name on decals and badges on a production car. Now, when it comes to the window sticker, from my understanding, I had to have AI help me kind of understand this, is that they won't be able to put the Cuda name in the trim, just like how they use Hellcat, Red Eye, or Demon. But instead, it'll be on an option list, kind of like how you go down the options and select like the Sun and Sound package or level 1, level 2. So that's basically where they had to use that Cuda name at. Honestly, I wouldn't care if this was the way the Dodge had to go to make a Cuda, as long as there was a Cuda appearance package that just so happens to trigger a 392 Hemi or maybe a 426 Hemi and stuff. I think that'd be basically pretty cool. And then I would love to have all kinds of Cuda logos and stripes and badges and stuff like that, and I think that would be pretty great, and I'll be good with that. I don't need to be called a Dodge Cuda, but I'm totally fine with being a Dodge Charger with a Cuda package on it, or a Cuda appearance package. I'm not picky, I just want a damn Cuda, that's all I'm just saying, right? But the second clue on my list is the Dodge Charger portal, where Dodge put some very sneaky clues on there. No one asked Dodge to go and create a portal to get more information on a Charger Daytona that nobody wanted to get more or basically information on and stuff, right? But it did so anyway and threw in Easter eggs themselves of multiple vehicles, like the Viper. They threw like some kind of old Charger in the background and stuff. And most importantly, they put a fish looking logo on the wall. Now, I don't really remember in Mopar history too many fish sounding cars other than Barracuda and Cuda. So it's obvious to me that this Easter egg that was basically on his wall is for a car that has been rumored to come for several years that they always wanted to do, but for some odd reason they never been able to get over the hurdle. And like I said with the first clue, they cannot make a separate car out of the Cuda. So there's no Dodge Cuda that's gonna be coming really anytime soon. They can't name the car a Dodge Charger Cuda because they can't use it like the Hellcat, the Red Eye, Super Stock, you know, Scat Pack and stuff like that. So you had to make it a appearance package on an existing car. Very, very interesting, which leads me into the third clue on my list going down this rabbit hole of this covered Dodge Charger. The most notable thing about this vehicle under the tarp is that we know it's a Charger from the square front design and stuff, but then we see this very, very interesting bulge in the hood under the cover and stuff. So with this car being a Dodge Charger portal, besides a Cuda looking logo on the wall, I'm gonna get my Stephen A. Smith on. Let me type my suit up real quick. If it looks like a duck, it quacks like a duck, it ain't a damn mongoose. That leads me into the number 4 clue on my list, the Dodge Charger concept car. It's obvious that this car was inspired by the 1970 Plum AAR Cuda. Got a blacked out hood, same stripe design and stuff, signature hood scoop, high rear wing. All you are missing is basically a couple of badges on the car, calling it a Cuda, which they legally can't do. But next year, with the popularity of this vehicle's appearance package, I wouldn't be surprised if we get like a Cuda appearance package on a Charger. I'm just saying, I would love to see it. I wouldn't care if I can't call it a Cuda by the actual car name, but if it has a Cuda appearance package, why not? Because it wasn't a problem when the TRXs had all these different appearance packages. You had the Havoc edition, you had the Ignition edition. None of those vehicles had Ignition edition trademarks to call it TRX Ignition edition. Look on your window sticker, it just says TRX. Ignition edition is down in the option list, and this is where I'm telling you guys that a Cuda appearance package would be at, down here in the same exact area. So it wouldn't mind to me to have it down there because it wasn't a problem for all these special editions for the TRX. I don't know if the Anvil was like that, but I know the Anvil, the Havoc, the Ignition, the Havoc, a bunch of these TRX special editions were not named in the actual window sticker, right? So would I be surprised if I see next year let's say a Dodge Charger Hellcat with a Cuda appearance option down there? I wouldn't be mad at that. I mean, what if they lock it to only SRT Charger variants so that you can get maybe an SRT 392 Charger with a Cuda appearance package? That way Hurricanes can't get it. So I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind them doing that. And if that is the case, that's the only way I gotta do, or the only way I can get a Cuda at the end of the day, I would be definitely fine with it. And finally, my number 5 is, how can you have a 426 Hemi Cuda if you don't have a 426 Hemi to put in a Cuda? Well, there's 2 ways they can actually do this, and one of them is by restarting that abandoned 426 Hemi project that modifies the current 392 Hemi into a 426. Now, it was reported right around when the TRX was coming out that a naturally aspirated 426 was being developed, and it would be rumored to go into a variety of vehicles, from the Charger, the Challenger, the baby TRX and stuff. And that project was basically canceled right before Stellantis came into power. With the emissions being relaxed now, why not restart that project and basically make a budget 426 Cuda or 426 Hemi, sorry, just say 426 Hemi, that's based off 392 and probably use majority of the same parts. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a great seller as a crate engine if they don't put it into a production car, and I think it'll be a great way to make a budget 426 SRT vehicle. And then for the Big Daddy, SRT just updated the 426 830 Hellephant just this week. That engine is aluminum and has a bunch of new stiffening in there. Now, I theorize that, I know some of you guys are gonna hate, that I think they took some lessons from the Demon 170s that had some engine failures and stuff. They strengthened the 426 Hellephant so that when this engine is placed in production cars, you will not have the same problems in there. And I think it'd be awesome for them to drop a 426 aluminum Hemi Hellephant inside production car. And this may be their only time in history over the next 4 to 5 years. I think it's gonna be it to make a 426 Hemi production car, especially with aluminum block. If they don't do it in the next 4 to 5 years, it would definitely 100% never happen again. Because there are some people who vote on certain sides of the aisle that's gonna jack up this electrification nonsense, even though Bill Gates came out and said they was basically lying the whole damn time and the climate change nonsense is a hoax. But this will truly be the last call of the Gen 3 Hemi, regardless of what we like it or not, because once this other party gets back into power, the Gen 3 Hemi is going to be done. And what better way to send it off than by not holding back and go full speed ahead? Science will make a ton of money by scooping up and putting 426s in literally everything they can roll off the assembly line. And I'm telling you, guys will put their hands on it, and these cars will be sitting in collections for a long period of time. Because from 2015 to 2025, we never had a single production 426 car, and those cars sold like hotcakes. What the heck you think is gonna happen when there's 426 cars running around that's only in SRT branded vehicles? So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Do you guys think it is very, very possible that my 5 clues could lead to a 426 Hemi Cuda? If the push came to shove and the only way you can get a Cuda is as an option package and not the name of a car, is that acceptable to you? Or let that name never come back with a Hemi V8 ever again and just let it die off in history. If you want to check the video I made about a Cuda concept car, you can check this video right here. And until the next time, I'm out.